Hey y'all, Natalie here, and it's time for 80/20 with my friend Sara Scraps. I think I'm using that picture of the dogs. We take a turn here, but I am using a whole bunch of those die cuts, and that is the embellishment I'm focusing on this month. This is the sketch we're going to use. Sara said we should, liven it up, and she asked me to pick a sketch, so I found this one on Pinterest, and it's so fun. Lots of mixed media. So this is kind of my idea. I'm going through a couple background pages to back this white mixed media page. You can see I've already put clear gesso down the middle. I'm going to adhere down these 3 circular die cuts and or tags. You can see that is literally from like a purchased item, but it was so pretty that I had saved it in this die cut jar, and I need to use this die cut jar up because it just sits there on the shelf. But I'm actually now doing a layer of clear gesso on the top of those circles as well. I already had it on the bottom of the background page, and now I'm going to put out atop all of these because in the sketch there is mixed media on top of the circles. So now I've grabbed this Vicky Bouton stencil, and I'm going to use my matte texture paste. And recently I did a watercolor Technique Tuesday for a cherry on top, and then one of the options was to use powdered watercolors, and I didn't do that because that wasn't what was chosen by the people, but I said I would do it in a later video. So I am going to use powdered watercolors here. I'm going to put the texture paste through the stencil, and before I remove the stencil, I'm going to take some powdered watercolor and I'm going to sprinkle it on top. Now, Sara will tell you that she has sworn off powdered watercolors forevermore. They are a mess. I will give her that. It's definitely a mess. I was trying to be super careful, and then it didn't get enough powder on the white part of the texture paste, so I kind of was getting it off of the stencil. You have to clean up your stencil and all of the powder if you spill it immediately, because it does make a little bit of a mess. But I love the pixelated look that you can get with these powdered pigments without, if you don't fully saturate or mix in the color. You'll see what I mean here. So this one is a Brushos, and it's like yellow ochre, I think is what it's called. And so you can see when I activate it with just a small spritz of water, the color spreads. And so I'm just using tiny bits of water and a pretty dry brush. And then here I'm kind of mixing the yellow a little bit with the pink. This whole page takes a journey, and it's mostly because that shimmering powder by Nuvo is gorgeous, but the pink was way pinker than I expected it to be. It's very bright, almost like a hot pink. So we take a turn here. But anyway, I'm still messing with the colors. I sprinkle some more yellow ochre in that area, and then I spritz it. And isn't that magical? It's so fun. So I'm still thinking about using that picture of my pups. It's them laying on my rug. And so I was going to pull the colors from the rug, which is why I have that coral color medallion. But again, when I put that pink shimmering powder on, it was whoa, pink. So we'll see what happens. But I'm adding additional texture paste, and I'm also going to use another shimmering powder by Nuvo. It's I think it's called Atlantis Burst maybe. So it's like a turquoisey blue color. So I'm really glad I put a lot of gesso on top of these, because I am ending up adding more water than I expected. So but that's cool. And you can see that turquoise is kind of mixing with the pink a little bit, so we end up having a little bit of purple, which I really like. But I'm kind of trying to stick close to the sketch, and as far as that mixed media going on top of the circles. So yeah, I just thought that we need a little blue up there, so I just kind of took what was on my brush and added that spot up there. And then I actually still have some on the stencil, so you'll see me in a minute go back through and kind of press the stencil around the page a little bit. So to each her own, but I do love powdered pigments. I think they're magical, and you can find other layouts on my YouTube channel that include these as well. Maybe even a better example of how to use them, because I'm not gonna lie, this didn't turn out to be my favorite layout yet ever, guys. I don't really know where my headspace was, but anyway, because I have that black medallion up there, I'm gonna add black splatter. So I just have like a watercolor splatter that I'm adding around to help bring out that pop of black, and boom, it's magically dry. It did take a while to dry. I let it sit and dry. I used my heat gun and then I let it sit and dry as well. So while it finishes drying, I am going to build a little bit around this photo. And honestly, I took a lot out because I don't end up using this photo. So that's why I didn't show you all of the building up of the layers behind the photo, because it's going away. Yeah. So this is when I'm putting it back on there and I'm just like, these colors on the layout are too bright for this photo. It just wasn't working for me. So I start trimming down my white paper, which I always had planned to do. As you saw at the beginning, I was looking for like a background paper, like a little border paper. But since I have that black on the layout and I decided to kind of back the photo in black, I decided that the background needs to be black. So I switched to that black paper with like the gold dots that you can see there. And this is when I decided to scrap this photo. I'll scrapbook the photo again later. It's cute, but with more muted colors. So I picked this photo that I took of a sunset and our party lights and our hot tub, and I decided to take a different direction with my layout. It's going to be about my happy place, which is good. I need to document this because it is my happy place and I use it a lot. I actually use it more than I expected to when we bought the hot tub. If you are around me for any period of time, you'll hear me talk about the hot tub. So there I am, using the Laura Alberts trick. That's at least where I learned it, of not using the whole page because I didn't have a full page, but still getting the background edges around this background. I trim it down to a full 12 by 12, and I still use some of those pieces, the layering pieces behind the photo. But it did change the orientation of the photo as well, so that doesn't match the sketch, but it's okay. I'm just going through my die cuts, and I like the way those two tags layer up and it brightens up the layout, so I'm definitely going to put that there. And then I just go through and add some florals. I use some bright gold glitter because I have gold foil in there, so I go with gold glitter. And the title is going to be, I'm going to use the acetate piece that says everyday, so it's going to be Everyday Happy Place. And I'll take this chance to let you know that Sarah obviously has a page, and hers is gorgeous and I love it so much. She did torn paper, and I want to scrap lift or her version of this sketch. It's so good. So check that out. I'm going to link her down below. I'll also put my affiliate links down below if you want to go shopping. So I'm just, placing these bits. That's another reason that I use the gold glitter, because I wanted to use that gold glitter leaf and that gold glitter dipped circle there. There's a lot of circles in the sketch, so that's kind of what I was thinking when I pulled out the circle. And I use my red line tape to put the transparency everyday down, because you can't really see it once you use that. I'm sorry. I have a tickle in my throat all of a sudden. And I kind of like layer that gold glitter thickers over that, so it says Everyday Happy Place. When I get done putting my die cuts around, I need more gold glitter, obviously, because there's not enough going on in this layout, right? Like, honestly, I feel like it's a hot mess. But anyway, for some reason in my head, I needed more gold glitter, so you'll see what I do with that here in a minute. But I'm making sure to use a lot of adhesive. I say this every time, but it's got texture paste, it's got gesso. You're going to need a lot of adhesive for these items to stick to this page. I like that I moved the floral down there to the left. It needed something over there by the photo, and there's negative space in the photo that you can overlap, and it helps bring cohesion to the page. So I added this gold vellum flower, and I love a good banner. I love banners. Every single time there's a banner, I'm gonna like find a fun place for it on the page. So since I have hanging lights around my hot tub, I thought the banner looked really cute. It's at the top, and it matched the colors. So I put this little arrow down there just because carrot, I think is what you would call it actually. But so I have this gold glitter, but it doesn't match. I'm showing you that it doesn't match. So I have these gold die cuts that have clearly not been used, and this is all about using your stash, right? And so make your stash work for you. I gutted that sucker with a couple little die cuts with hearts that matched the additional glitter that I thought I needed on the page, and that is the finishing touch of my page instead of like gems or sequins or something today. So make your stash work for you. if you need to work through your stash and use it, maybe use it in different ways outside the box. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. There's a reminder of what the sketch looked like. Again, I just found this on Pinterest. And there's my final layout. Not my best work, but it's okay. It told the story. I did journaling down there at the bottom. It tells a story, and I actually had fun making it. I do like the mixed media. It probably would have been great if I just left the mixed media without adding stuff on top of it. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. I would love it if you'd like and subscribe, and make sure to check out Sarah's video too. Bye, y'all.